No Man's Sky patch 6.06 is now out. It's rolling out to all platforms on public, and it is definitely already on there on Steam, as it has been for a few hours at this point. There are a few things you might want to know, so let's go into all those details right now. So the first note is actually related to the mission board here. It says fixed an issue which caused the mission board on the Corvette to sometimes be inaccessible. Now I've noticed in abandoned mode it will always say that it's inaccessible, than me being able to get on it. Now unfortunately, it still kind of says that, except it doesn't say inaccessible, it just says the system is uninhabited. So you still can't use the mission radar on an abandoned mode save because every system is uninhabited. Any issues you were having with the inaccessible now, it will at least not say inaccessible. It will give you a reason. So you shouldn't have this problem in normal mode unless of course you are in an uncharted system, in which case it will say this: system uninhabited. Now a really cool one, which is fixed an issue which prevented fishing missions from being complete on a Corvette, appears to be that you can actually just fish on a Corvette now. Previously, you could not really use your multi-tool on a Corvette, at least you couldn't when I originally tried not long after the update. I don't know if they fixed that earlier and I just didn't notice, but you can now fire a weapon in your Corvette, which also means you can fish from your Corvette. So you can now go to the edge here and fish off. I don't have a fishing rig on this save. I was trying to build one and I'm missing a bit of silver, and I could get the salt from below, but it's a silver, so just for speed I just thought, well, it shows that you can do it by being able to use my neutron cannon. All the camera's going weird there. So yeah, you can now fish off here. Another thing this could mean is that you just can't complete the missions, or you couldn't in the past with the mission radar, but now you can. So if that was the case, you can do that now. Either way, you can fish off a Corvette now, which is pretty damn cool. Another note of consequence is increased number of guns that visually fire on Corvettes. So to actually test how this looks, I have applied 10 photon cannons to my ship here, so we can see exactly how this works. Okay. How many are firing here? It looks like it's somewhere between 6 and 7. And it will still do 2 per turret, because each turret has 2 of the actual guns, like barrels on it. So it'll do 2 on the one, then move to the next, 2 on the next, then move to 1. It doesn't seem to have any particular order based on how I place them either. So maybe it's also not a left to right or right to left thing. This is very strange. I don't know exactly how this works, but that it's a thing now. And it's still not every turret you have. It looks like 6 or 7. On the 6th and 7th one, it seemed to only use 1 of each barrel. It was very strange, but that is how that looks now. Good lord. There's also a fix for bobbleheads. I do have some bobblehead figurines on this creative mode save. Let's just apply 2 of them. We'll add Polo and Atlas. I don't know what the issue with this was, but if you were having an issue with the bobbleheads, that appears to have been fixed. Just in case it's a visual issue, it doesn't really specify. The exact wording is fixed an issue with bobblehead positions when placed in Corvettes. So I don't know if that means positions for the technology or position in the cockpit. As this is kind of just floating, like if we just like look, yeah, that's kind of floating there. So I feel like it's the visual position in the cockpit, and that still looks weird. Maybe if I take away that one, how will the Atlas look? The Atlas just goes to the same place. So yeah, I think they still need to work on the positioning here, because in this, that looks a bit weird. But is there anywhere else they can really put it? I'm not sure there is, unless they put it out of view, but you could look at it by holding Alt and looking around like that. Strange. Fixed an issue that would respawn the player on an empty Corvette landing pad when dying on a derelict freighter. Fixed an issue which caused some Corvette parts to be invisible when a save point was placed in the Corvette. So that's good. On another note, just because save point's one of those things that you pick up, for people who are having trouble with the portable refiner, remember that this is going to be well known by most now, but if you're having trouble with the portable refiner that you built on a Corvette because you couldn't pick it up, you just have to go into the build menu to delete it instead of picking it up outside of the build menu, so you can still get rid of that. It might be this. I'm guessing it's probably the same with the save points or something. Fixed an issue which could result in changing galaxy when warping as a passenger aboard a Corvette. Fixed an issue which could cause some elements of the user interface to be misaligned with the crosshair position in the Corvette. Fixed an issue which caused the option to recolor all parts of the Corvette not to work properly. So, it actually says correctly, not properly, but if you want to be specific. Now, I actually tried to look at this before. We can do this very simply. I looked at this on this creative mode. They've said fixing this before. So if we just go into the build menu, go into this, press G for color, then click red. Nope, so this is still only coloring the outside, unless it's a Thunderbird. If it's a Thunderbird habitat, it will color the inside as well. See, the roof is now changing color, green and stuff. The inside of a Thunderbird one will change based on the color of the outside, but all of them, when colored, even from the build menu, like here, not in the Corvette menu, will change the actual color outside. So it's the outside that really matters for the color changes. Here's one we actually tested with originally. Fixed an issue that caused invisible collision around the round window base part. This just works better now. No getting stuck around the windows. I believe I did have that before, where someone took off and the windows disappeared and I was stuck within the graphics of the habitat, which wasn't great. But hopefully that's fixed too now. Fixed an issue which caused the blocking geometry to appear at the 4th rendezvous space station of the Corvette expedition. Fixed an issue with freighter collision. That's extremely vague, have no idea what that means. Fixed an issue causing the anomaly landing pad display to be oriented incorrectly. Well, I thought it worked before. I didn't think there were any real actual issues with that, and it seems to work now as well. Although it does seem slightly different. I think maybe before this was kind of facing upwards, so this one that says that I'm here would have instead been this one. It was just basically rotated, but side by side, and I understood it to mean that, so this just slightly confused me when I came upon it, but I guess this is how it was meant to be. I feel like maybe this should be, the whole panel should be rotated if they're going to do it like this. Fix an issue that prevented some special cross-save customization parts, such as the jellyfish tank helmet, from unlocking across all save games. So I guess as it wasn't bought with Quicksilver, it didn't quite work properly, but now it does, so that's good. Fix an issue that could cause you to be stuck when teleporting to your base from another system. Fixed an issue that caused a black screen to appear during the Starfield loading screen. Fixed an issue that could cause missing terminals on settlement buildings. And improved reflection quality for the inventory preview viewer. Now, there are a few others like fixed a Steam input issue, general performance optimizations, fixed a performance issue which caused hitches when in the anomaly, fixed a rare physics crash, fixed a rare issue that could cause the game to hang when using the terrain manipulator, and fixed a number of other crashes. So those last few were just basically optimizations, crashes, just a few other little bits and bobs around there. That's the entire patch though. That is 6.06 hotfix patch. It's rolling out to public now. Those are all details. This was a bit of a weird way for me to show it. I normally do a script and stuff. I probably sound different because there's a whole script reading voice that I can't help but do to a degree. But yeah, I hope that was helpful. I hope some things were fixed that you needed fixing. And have an awesome one, folks. Peace.